Ever wondered what's going on inside that amazing brain of yours right now? It's not just some gray, squishy mush, you know. It's absolutely packed, teeming with billions and billions of tiny, truly incredible cells called neurons. Think of them as the super-fast messengers. They are the biological electrical wiring. They are the internet of your very own body. They are constantly working, day and night. They zip vital information around at mind-boggling speeds. From the second you wake up to the moment you drift off to sleep, and even while you're deep in dreamland, your neurons are tirelessly on the job. They control every single thing you do, every brilliant thought you have, every emotion you feel. Isn't that just astounding? Science. So what exactly are these neuron things we're talking so much about? Well, they are highly specialized cells. They are the fundamental building blocks of your entire nervous system. This system includes your brain, your spinal cord, and all your nerves that reach every part of your body. Your body is made up of trillions of cells, of course, but neurons are the true communication experts, the superstars of cellular society. They are specifically designed to transmit information or messages incredibly rapidly, often over surprisingly long distances. Imagine trying to send an urgent message from your little toe all the way up to your brain in less than a blink of an eye. That's the kind of speed and amazing efficiency we're dealing with when we talk about neurons. They form a vast, intricate, interconnected network, a biological superhighway carrying vital data. Now you might be thinking, okay, neurons sound pretty cool, but why should I, a super busy student juggling homework, friends, and maybe some sports, really care deeply about them? That is an excellent question, and the answer is simple. Understanding neurons is like getting the master key to understanding yourself. It helps explain how you learn new things. Think about that tricky maths problem or the rules of a new computer game. It sheds light on how you remember your best friend's birthday or that fantastic holiday you took last summer. And very importantly, it helps scientists and doctors understand what happens when things sometimes go a bit haywire in the brain, leading to various conditions. Knowledge is power, especially knowledge about yourself. So buckle up your brain belts, because we're about to embark on an electrifying journey into the world of neurons. We're going to unplug the mystery surrounding these amazing cellular superstars. We'll explore what they're made of in detail. We will discover the different types of neurons and learn about their very special jobs within your nervous system. And we'll figure out the absolutely amazing ways they chat with each other using tiny electrical and chemical signals. It's going to be an adventure into the very core of what makes you think, what makes you feel, what makes you learn, and what makes you move. Prepare to have your mind not just blown, but thoroughly stimulated by the wonders of neuroscience. Science is awesome, and it's happening inside you right now. All right, science enthusiasts, let's get down to business. Did you know that not all neurons are created equal? No, sir. Just like how in a champion netball team you have specialist shooters, dedicated defenders, and agile midcourters, each with a specific and vital role to play on the court, neurons also come in different types with highly specialized jobs. We can broadly classify these neural superheroes into three main categories, each essential for your body to function. Think of them as the elite task force, the special agents of your nervous system. Each one is absolutely essential for keeping you thinking, feeling, and moving. They are the unsung heroes working tirelessly behind the scenes. They ensure every little signal gets precisely where it needs to go. Let's meet these incredible cellular characters, the true MVPs of your internal communication network. First up on our all-star neuron roster are the sensory neurons. These are your body's intrepid explorers and diligent reporters. Imagine you accidentally touch a sizzling hot sausage on the Barbie, yikes, that smarts. It's the sensory neurons with their sensitive endings in your fingertips that instantly detect that intense heat. They then spring into action, firing off an urgent message, a kind of biological emergency alert signal, all the way to your brain and spinal cord. They are constantly on patrol, diligently gathering information from all your senses, everything you see with your eyes, everything you hear with your ears, all the smells you detect with your nose, the tastes on your tongue, and every touch or temperature change you feel with your skin. They are the crucial input channels, bringing the outside world into your internal one. Next in the lineup, please give a big hand for the powerful motor neurons. These are the action heroes of the nervous system, the ones that make things happen, the movers and shakers. Once your brain or spinal cord processes that urgent hot stuff detected, message from those ever-watchful sensory neurons, it needs to command your body to react, and react quickly. That's where motor neurons step onto the stage. They act like dedicated messengers carrying vital instructions from your central nervous system, which is your brain and spinal cord, out to your muscles and glands. So, they're the ones carrying the signal that tells your arm muscles to yank your hand away from that hot sausage, and fast. Every single movement you make, from kicking a winning goal in footy to simply blinking your eyes, is orchestrated by these crucial motor neurons. And last, but certainly not least, providing the essential link in this neural chain, are the indispensable interneurons. These are the ultimate connectors, the sophisticated go-betweens, the decision-makers in the neural network. You'll find the vast majority of these incredibly clever cells located within your brain and your spinal cord, where they form immensely complex circuits and pathways. Their main job is to connect sensory neurons to motor neurons, effectively acting as a bridge for the flow of information. But they do much more than just passively relay messages. They also communicate extensively with other interneurons. They are deeply involved in processing information, making rapid decisions, like in those quick reflex actions, and are absolutely fundamental to higher brain functions like learning, memory, and complex thought. They are the brain's internal switchboard operators and powerful mini-processors. Now that we've been properly introduced to the fantastic neuron crew, our sensory detectives, our motor action heroes, and our interneuron connectors, let's zoom in even closer for a good look. It's time to peek under the cellular hood, so to speak, and see what these amazing message carriers are actually made of. A typical neuron, you see, has several distinct and very important parts, each playing a vital role in its remarkable ability to send and receive signals throughout your body. It's like a tiny, incredibly sophisticated communication device, far more advanced and intricate than any smartphone ever invented. Understanding its precise structure is absolutely key to understanding how it performs its electrifying duties. So, let's get our mental scalpels ready for a friendly metaphorical dissection. No actual neurons will be harmed in this explanation, I promise. At the very heart of every single neuron is the cell body, which is also known by its fancier scientific name, the soma. This is the neuron's command and control center, its main operational headquarters. Packed carefully inside the cell body is the nucleus. As you probably know from your brilliant biology classes, the nucleus contains the cell's DNA, the complete genetic instruction manual for everything the neuron does, how it develops, and how it functions. The cell body is responsible for keeping the entire neuron alive, healthy, and functioning optimally. It processes the incoming information it receives from other neurons and generates the energy needed for all its activities. It's the bustling hub where all the important metabolic business of the neuron takes place, keeping it in tip-top shape. Extending outwards from the cell body, like the intricate branches of a magnificent ancient tree, are numerous short, spidery appendages called dendrites. The name dendrite actually comes from the Greek word dendron, which means tree, and that's a perfect description for how they look and branch out. These dendrites are the neuron's primary receivers of information, its input channels. Think of them as thousands upon thousands of tiny antennas, constantly scanning their surroundings and diligently picking up signals or messages from neighboring neurons that are trying to communicate. A single neuron can have a vast and complex network of dendrites, allowing it to listen in on and gather information from a multitude of other cells simultaneously. They are the input specialists, collecting all the neural news from the neighborhood. Then we have the axon. This is typically a single, long, slender, cable-like projection that extends from the cell body, sometimes for a very long distance. Unlike the many dendrites that are designed to receive messages, the axon's critical job is to transmit messages away from the cell body. It sends these signals onwards to other neurons or directly to effector cells like muscles or glands to make something happen in the body. You can think of the axon as the main communication cable or an express electrical highway for the neuron's important outgoing signals. Some axons are quite short, perhaps just a fraction of a millimeter, but others, like those axons that run all the way from your spinal cord down to the muscles in your big toe, can be incredibly long, over a meter in length in an adult. That's truly incredible. So we've learned about the different types of amazing neurons and their cool internal structure with all its specialized parts. But the really electrifying part, and yes, that pun is totally intended, is how these neurons actually communicate with each other across the nervous system. They don't use tiny mobile phones or send little emails to each other, though the sheer speed and incredible complexity of their vast network would certainly put our human-made internet to shame. Neurons talk to each other using a brilliant and highly efficient combination of electrical signals that travel within the neuron and chemical signals that travel between neurons. This lightning-fast chatter, this constant stream of information, happens trillions upon trillions of times every single second inside you, forming the very basis of every thought you think, every memory you recall, and every single action you take. It's a biological marvel of epic proportions. When a neuron receives enough stimulating signals from its many dendrites, and these signals add up to reach a certain critical level or threshold, it fires. This firing is an electrical impulse, a rapid change in electrical charge, known as an action potential. This action potential is like a tiny, brief jolt of electricity, a wave of positive charge that travels swiftly down the entire length of the axon, a bit like a ripple, from the cell body towards the axon terminals at the other end. Think of it like a spark racing down a fuse wire, or perhaps a line of dominoes toppling over one by one in quick succession. It's an all-or-nothing event. The neuron either fires with its full strength, or it doesn't fire at all. This ensures the message is transmitted clearly and reliably without fading away. Now here's a truly fascinating and crucial detail. Neurons don't actually physically touch each other end to end when they communicate. There's always a microscopic gap, an incredibly tiny space, between the axon terminal of one neuron, the sender, and the dendrite or cell body of the next neuron, the receiver. This tiny junction, this communication point, is called the synapse, or sometimes the synaptic cleft. So if they don't touch, how does the message possibly jump across this gap? Great question. When the electrical action potential reaches the very end of the axon, it triggers the release of special chemical messengers called neurotransmitters from tiny sacs into the synapse. These neurotransmitter molecules then float across the tiny synaptic gap and bind to specific receptor sites on the next neuron, much like a key fitting perfectly into a lock, thereby passing the message along. This incredible process of electrical signaling down the axon and chemical neurotransmission across the synapse is what allows messages to be passed rapidly and efficiently from one neuron to the next, creating the vast and complex communication networks that make up your brain and nervous system. And why is all this zapping and chemical chatting so very important for you to understand? Well, understanding how your neurons work is absolutely fundamental to understanding how our brains learn new information, how we form and retrieve precious memories, and how we experience the whole range of human emotions. It's the key to figuring out what goes wrong in many neurological and psychiatric conditions like Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, or depression, and it crucially helps scientists develop new and better treatments. Plus, knowing about the amazing cellular machinery inside your own head is just plain cool. So keep those neurons firing and keep asking questions. Science.